All right, Lynette, if you can please show us, it's 6:30 PM. Go ahead and get it started. If you can go ahead and take care of roll call for us.
District 1, Miguel Dwyer.
Here.
District 2, Richard Hughes. District 3, Jim Henry.
Here.
District 4, Mr. Rodriguez.
Here.
District 5, Charles Speaks.
Here.
All right, thank you, Lynette, appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you please rise and join me in pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, Thank you so much. Great to hear the kids too. Okay, let's go ahead and kick off the agenda, and we're going to go ahead and first area of citizens to be heard. This is the opportunity for citizens, visitors, guests to address the city council on any issue, any item that LGC section 551.007. City council may not discuss any presented issue, nor may take any action at any time at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes. Attorney General Opinion JC 0169. So is there anybody here? We're going to have a public hearing with changes on the speed limit, but is there anything else that somebody would like to bring in front of the council? Point out or discuss? Yes, sir. Come on up, sir. Set up speed bumps. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Come on up to the mic. If you want to just bring it up, we're not going to be able to make an opinion or anything, but you can address your concern, okay?
Okay, I'm asking for help in slowing traffic down on North Benson Street between Lake Street and Laredo Street. We have a lot of I'm trying to get speed bump set up there. And I'm asking you to consider placing speed bumps. We have school buses there. School buses. 3:30
Thank you, sir. We'll make sure we get it. Okay. Oh, yeah, the name. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll bring up to speed at the very end of the meeting, some informational item, bring up about tech dots. We've been working with them, just because of some of the construction projects. I'll bring up where we're at, but we'll go past construction next time too.
Yeah, and this corner that I talked about. Sidewalk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for your feedback, sir.
Clayton. I'm on the sign up sheet. You need the last name? Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Anybody else? All right. Let's go ahead and move on, and we're going to go ahead and do number 5. Is a consent agenda. Consider approval of payment of the bills. So, council, if you could please. Matt, has anyone come out to look at this paving job?
Yeah, it's already been approved. Wait for the final paperwork to come in. Yeah, we may not get bugged.
Yeah, I mean, I've been noticing some spots where it's already, you got grass moving through. So I'm curious as to how in depth TRC looked at that. Because I didn't look at every street, but the streets I've looked at, I've seen some issues. Fredo's got a lot of money to do a good job. It's been 2 months. And not having any issues.
It's not compacted on the edge of it.
That's common.
I can tell you I've seen it in other places too, but I did bring it up to our engineer.
Yeah, I mean, of course, what's gonna happen, the water's gonna get in there, it's gonna mess the whole road up. That's my. $553,000.
I can tell you most roads that I've, in the short time working some all city jobs where they do pavement, the roads and talking to techs that are actually designed to take the moisture in through the road and dissipate it out. I don't know how those are done, and I can't tell you, I just put more water in the road.
So let's go ahead and address that. Make sure TRC. Motion. Let's go ahead and proceed. Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed?
Nay, I can't sign off on spending that much money on halfway through the job.
All right. You got the voting down? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the public hearing. Let's go ahead and show ourselves going into a public hearing at 6:40 PM right now. And this is a public hearing regarding considering the lowering the speed limit on all city streets to 25 miles per hour within the jurisdiction of the city of Lytle. So this is the time those that actually showed up to go ahead and talk about that. If you can please come up one at a time. Go ahead and state your name and your address and go ahead and state your opinion on that. This is the time for the council to hear your side or your input.
I think they're all signed.
Is everybody signed in? I know some people walked in afterwards, so.
We can catch you in.
Okay. So let's take a look at the first one. Let's see, Mr. Martinez, did you have any more besides the speed bumps?
That was all
That was it? Okay. Let's see. It's 6:40. 6:40. So then we have the next one that we had, and we were talking about the ski. What's the plate? Do you want to talk about ski?
I know better than most people. I live on 179, that's water tower. It's terrible, but, you know, my take on this is, this approach of lowering the speed limit is like taking gun laws tougher. I don't care what that little tin sign says, they don't just speed in your neighborhood, they speed everywhere. Everybody. Don't care. You know, I mean, people put right in the morning, or right in I just don't, I don't, you know, 65. And people still think they're 85. They're not. They don't even know it. I know. So I just don't think it's right that everybody else has to creep around through town like me, especially like me. I mean, I have to watch people going 75 by my house all day long, and then I pull out my driveway and I get 100 feet, and I gotta be going 25 all the way to the right of it. That's a little excessive. You look at, Divine, you know, the speed limit's 30 there. Natalia, it's 35. I mean, in Castroville, it's 40. And on city streets, 30. I think there are some roads that are 25 in residential. I guess, depending on case by case thing, but just to do a blanket, everything can be 25, I think is excessive. You know, and the short time that I've been here, I always thought like on the main road, that if anything, the speed limit should go up. I mean, we're not getting less traffic, and like, we're getting more traffic. We've got more cars than we're gonna slow. We don't need to slow it down any further. We've got enough problems with our traffic flow as it is without slowing it down further by law. And again, when you slow down, you need, it's not just slow down.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you for keeping it within 3 minutes. Appreciate that. Okay, I did jump ahead, and I do want to apologize because I saw the writing on there. But Jesse, Marta? Oh, did you see her to listen? Okay, got it. I just want to make sure. All right, next one is Simon. Simon, come on up, sir.
Coming before me, I would read it as in my mind, I would read it. I don't think that it's a good idea. It's not very practical. It's like a waste of time. Law-abiding citizens are going to be the ones following that. So there's not a depth for the people that are breaking the law. So I think I could see how, as Mr. Martin before me is spoken, it says we thought that there was an important time to go back to that better way frequently. Always. I do appreciate you all tonight. The think what I feel about the street.
Simon, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yes, I'm sorry, Garcia. Simon Garcia. I still like when you come up, just introduce yourself so we can actually record this. We don't have to do that. All right, so let's see. Brad, come on up, sir. That boy.
Brad Boyd. I'm not sure what I'm trying to do this. It's a little nicky city of school. The average speed limit in this traffic, maybe 10 off, starting off. Take it down to 25, doing something just to do something. Trying to make yourself feel better, doing something. I don't want to spend much money on to change all the signs. What's we're doing a speed trap where we can try to get more tickets. Then let's just be honest about it. It's every one of those feeling paid back. There's no one to raise money. More tickets. Because it's not like we have any tracks. It's not like kids are in danger. Or they pretend something bad happened. I just don't understand why it's even being considered. Think better of it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Alton, come on up.
I'm in favor of the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. I think the 25, it isn't a bad idea, I think. There's not a lot of accidents, right? There's a lot of children that are not getting hurt. If that becomes an issue, I'm sorry, good idea. But in my opinion, I think that the streets that are 25 should be rated back. It's been 30 for a long time, a very long time. I think that's a different part.
Thank you, sir. Sam, are you just attending? Just let make sure. Daniel, come on up, sir.
Sam. I've been out 30 years. That would, this pride is what happens. And I'm just curious, how long ago has it been that y'all changed some of those 30 to 25?
Let's see, some of the roads, we did the first one, Robbie, what do you think? Maybe about 3 years ago? The first one, and then we did the next one. Yeah.
And I see a lot of people who feel so just kind of wondering on your research, what was the goal of
So we'll get into a discussion a little bit more, but just for clarification, those were residents in those streets that came and asked for it to lower the speed limit in those streets right there. So we'll discuss that. Yeah, right now, right now it's public, so this is an opportunity. Yes, sir. No, appreciate it. And it'll be the fourth item on the agenda. We'll get to that. Okay? I'll be good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right. And let's see. Joe Kennedy, come on up, man. you do?
like I need any microphones. My name is Cheryl Kennedy. I live on Pine Street. Kind of like with the rest of the group, I'm not quite sure why a 5-mile-per-hour speed limit is going to make or break anything. Having done civilian patrol and spent a lot of time driving the streets of Lytle, you can't hardly go anywhere without a school zone, a stop sign, and short stretches. So you've already got a whole lot of things. Now we've added in some speed bumps. And I like the ideas of trying some other things because I'm not quite sure. I've lived here for 16 years and I've worked evenings and nights most of the time. So most of the time when I was running errands until I retired, and even now, it's during the day. And I'll take a back way so I can miss the traffic and stuff. I don't ever see officers in those back areas. So maybe I don't know stats. Maybe that's it. But have we tried everything that we need to try? Do we have the speed bumps where they need to be on these long stretches? Is there a reason why we can't put them on Railroad and Adams Street where they love to drag? Those kinds of things, you know, are there high probability areas? Is it the new housing additions that you're bringing? I think a lot still has to be resolved. We need to that and spend the money for all new signs all the way around town.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. I just want to say before we continue, I just want to say thank you to all of you for taking the time, short, concise, to the point. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Okay, who did not sign in here and needs to speak? Okay, come on up, sir. Come on up. Introduce yourself on the mic.
Bob Roberts on Ball Road. I've been in this city for 53 years. And I want to know how you get warnings because I've never had one in my life. Yeah, if you know somebody, I need to know who they are. Yeah, is there a study that says Lytle's going to be a safer place by lowering the speed limit? Is there a study that says we're going to save lives, have less accidents by having it 25 miles an hour? The people who are going to continue to speed. It's going to cost the city a horrendous amount of money to change all the signs. It's going to slower traffic through the entire city. It's going to make people that come to our businesses not want to come here. It's already, in the last 30 years, become a speed trap. You start trying to get people off the interstate and get them into town, it's going to be even worse. If it is a fundraiser for the police department, that was mentioned earlier, that's a joke. Not the police department, the fact that it'd be a fundraiser. Enforce the rules that we have, and we don't have to penalize everybody that drives through our town. Lowering the speed limit, gentleman mentioned about the gun laws. It's the same thing. You don't need to lower the speed limit if 30 is a safe speed. 30 is what every town around here has.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Okay. Anyone else? Either did or did not sign in and needs to speak on this. We're good? Okay. We'll make sure. Okay, I'll mention it one more time. Anybody else who would like to mention anything during the public hearing for speed? For lowering the speed limit, I'm sorry. Yep.
Okay, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I agree with those that want to put reach to 25 miles an hour back to 30 on
All right. Okay. We don't have anybody else. Annette, let's go ahead and show it's 6:56 p.m. and we're gonna go ahead and close the public hearing on that portion. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hang in there. It's a fourth item. We'll have it up for discussion and bring information forward. Okay, council, let's go ahead and move over to the open session. This is to take action on items discussed. The first one that we have is consider and act upon the adoption of the updated zoning map.
So council, a gentleman from Kimley Horn, Ethan, is here tonight to present the updated zoning map. This is a project we took on February 27th, 23. And I'm happy to say we actually have an updated zoning map that can both be put on our website and interactive on our website as well. So I'm going to turn this over to Jim real quick for presentation.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor Council. Like Matthew said, my name is Ethan Harwell, based out of Austin area here. We were a pleasure to work with Matthew over the last few months to develop the zoning map. Myself, as a staff planner in a very fast-growing city, so I understand how critical it is to have the right tools and know.
Okay, so before you get started, Matt, can you pass that to me? So everybody in attendance. That was their zoning map. That was their zoning map. Literally went in there and wrote stuff. Every time that we had to make a decision and we had to look at the properties were actually listed in a certain way, we got complicated. We had to go back, look at ordinance, try to do that. That's one of the things that we did, but going back to all of our ordinances, to be able to do this. This has been a huge, huge thing for us. So I want you to listen as we go through this, where we went from this to what we're doing now, and how it's going to help our community. So, there you go, sir. All yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So just a quick reminder, why do we have a zoning map? It goes back to some state and local requirements we have here in Vital that say if you are going to divide the city into districts, if you are going to adopt a zoning ordinance to guide the growth of your city, you have to keep a map and a record of where this district is. So keeping this map up to date is part of our practice of keeping accurate. What we've done is develop two different maps for you. One is a PDF map that Matthew has here on the board. This is what you can adopt as your official zoning map. It's static, doesn't change, right? As we update things for you, as you annex property and rezone property, we'll update this PDF map. And it's got a place for your mayor and city secretary to sign. And this can be posted in public places. We got by your front desk. Well, I think the really cool thing, which is light years away from where we used to be with maps, is our new interactive web. These are going to be websites that can be accessed from a mobile device or a computer. You can post that link anywhere. You can post information for your city or for developers to find, or property owners. And as you grow and develop here in Lytle, add additional information to this map: water lines, wastewater lines, storage, roads, conditions. So, this map is very self-explanatory. It's a zoning map. What you'll see on the left-hand side is the picture of the zoning map, color references the zoning district, and then there in the legend, and then that dashed line around the city limits. Lytle is very interesting to map as your city limits lie in 3 different counties. So putting all those together is kind of tricky. Because we rely on appraisal district data to develop the maps, we'll note that both this map and our web map are going to have a disclaimer in the top right hand corner noting this is for reference only. This is not taking place in any sort of survey by RPLS. This is a developer. With just a minute. So, in just a minute, Lynette will open the link to show you the interactive map. But I want to orient you to a few features of the map before we get into it. The map will load on this screen here. There'll be a splash screen disclaimer. Okay. From there, you can navigate around the map, turn layers on and off, access different pieces of information, and really good expert with these. So up in the top left-hand corner, you'll note a search bar where you can type in the address or a street name. Underneath it, you'll note some different tools. You can pull up an aerial map behind it and measure things, feet, miles, inches, metric, whatever you like. And you can also draw on this map if you want to mark up something, trace things, point things. There's lots of features to do that for you. It's got a slider, so you can turn certain layers on, certain layers off, and slide back and forth. See the two. Lastly, you can export high resolution images of this for agenda packets for use in meetings. On the right hand side is where you'll find all of the different pieces of information that we have in there. You'll see your parcels divided by county. You can also see county boundary file, so you can easily really see what the county, your ETJ. We've added some additional information there that could be useful. The floodplains, water, CC, and so on. This is the list. You can certainly grow as we add level to this. This this kind of stuff. Oh, it should be. No, sir. Yes, sir. just checking. Like kind of features great. Members, there's a lot of people out there that create special campaigns, informational data on the street.
Motion on the floor? Further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries forward. Thank you so much. Just an update. Great job, and also kudos to Matt. I know you put a lot of effort in getting this.
Simply more, but I can tell you how much easier this is gonna make our life in researching properties.
So, a big difference. All right, let's go ahead and move on to B and consider and act upon the renewal of Lytle Little League annual contract for the use of the T-ball, baseball, and softball fields on occasion, and a concession stand at John Lott Municipal Park, and the use of the Horns Venture Annex for 2023 Little League season. Matt?
Okay, so I'm getting updates on our audio. We're having issues here. This is the exact same agreement as far as the orders go, the document, as last year. The only exception is we are increasing this to an 8-month contract to start January, and to also allow 5 uses of the Horse Venture Center in the 2024 calendar year. The only changes here. Little League has already seen this. Eric is here with Little League. If there's any questions for them, and Raleigh, great. Now we just create 4 council. No problem.
This is January through
January
end of
12th.
August.
Team doesn't make it, we go back to the last and they use first.
Okay.
start by making a motion for the renewal of the Lidle Little League annual contract for the use of the t-ball field, baseball fields, and softball field, and concession stands at John Lott Municipal Park, and the use of Forest Edge Center Annex for the 2023 Lidle Little League season.
Okay.
It should be Little League. 2024.
Okay. Discussion. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. In the last few years, you guys have taken it to the next level and highlighted our kids, and we really appreciate that. And I know you do all this volunteer hours. It is. And it's great for the kids, too. You just see their smiles on their faces. It doesn't matter whether it's T-ball or they're actually in competition just down the road. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. All right, let's go ahead and council move on to C. Consider and act upon a request for street lights at 180 McCoy Lane.
So council, the city received a agenda request item from Mr. Ernest Casillas, who lives at 180 McCoy Lane, in reference to having a street light placed at that curb due to safety reasons and being dark at 90-degree corners. I did drive out there. It is dark. There's no other street lights in the area, and it is right on the corner of that road. I did not reach out. I have not reached out to CPS on any potential cost to actually have the light installed, nor what the monthly fee would be, but I would assume it would be in common of what we pay for the other ones on a monthly basis. We have not adopted the streetlight policy, the new one, where that's going to be an amendment to our uniform development code. So these are on a case-by-case basis. This is if you 790 pass on the same thing, like past the that was the area that we discovered when it annexed into the city. Not only did the property, it got the road and both sides of the road. Right.
So when do we get that street light?
I'm still working with legal. They're rewriting it into our uniform development code. After looking at it, they agreed that it needs to go into that for being a standalone policy.
We can use that as a guideline.
We can if you want. I kind of already preemptively did that. I went out myself to look at it. The new policy that we're looking at kind of form that we would create and then give back to the person who wasn't the street light. And they have to go out and get the majority. I think it was 70%. I think it was 70% of the neighbors in agreement for the street light. In what was determined by the city community. Yeah, that would be standard CPS.
So my question for you, we approve this tonight, or this need to be held until we get some, find out what the actual cost is.
The council, I can't.
This is the intersection, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the corner. It's the 90-degree corner. It's not at the intersection between 790. Like you turn down before you go to the end, after the end, where the road makes a 90-degree turn. You have to make that 90-degree turn. The road completely stop.
But it's an actual intersection. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's where the road makes a 90-degree turn.
It's not an intersection. I mean, let's pull it up on the map if we have questions. It's a right-hand turn, 90 degrees, like just a regular road. Nothing out there. Except the pipe fence, right, Mr. Casillas? You run straight through that, it's a pipe fence, then miss that turn.
Run into the,
Yeah.
gate
originally years ago when the property to the left was annexed in. We took the left, like, right away up there.
Road pay.
I would call it, there's something, it's better than dirt.
Like Ball Road.
I think it is there.
Yeah.
So where are we talking about putting that thing?
I don't know, wonder if I drove out there, there's one there, I believe there's one here, before your driveway, correct? So, yeah, I would suggest placing it here, nothing to the this area. But that would be something. By the safety.
Is that your house? The one on the corner? There's steep. Come on up. Thank you, sir.
This being a annexed area. I am for putting a street light. I'd like to make a motion to table the request for the street light at 180 Point Lane to allow the administration to get the process of the city.
Okay, got a motion for us to go ahead and table the request until we get better cost estimate. Got a second? Any further discussion? to install it.
Right. So the monthly,
That
I
was
think,
AEP.
so I think.
I'll work on a policy for you, have it installed and what the monthly fee.
Comment in the back. Yes, sir.
This is not new data. CPS used to put the light up for any one of us for free, and they used to charge us like $8 a month for electricity going up like for the year. For the electricity with the non-metered light.
That would be for security light, it would be your light. I would take the light off. That, I would imagine.
Okay. Any further discussion? Yes, sir.
I can talk to CPS about that, but I can tell you there's a installed, and I think it's working. And they have it working. It's not that much.
Anybody have their hands raised? Okay. There's no further discussion. All those in favor for us to go ahead and table the request until we get a better cost estimate?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Hang in there, sir. We're going to go ahead and get those numbers, okay? Appreciate you being here. All right. We're gonna put that one. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to D. Consider and act upon lowering the speed limit to all city streets, 25 mile per hour within the jurisdiction of the city of Lidle. Alderman Kate.
Thank you. First, thank everybody for coming out, having a process and helping us make the right decisions. It's tough. To answer some questions, I think first off, we have that map now. When we're talking about changing the speed limit, it's only the city streets, right? So it's not Main Street, it's not 2790, not 3175. And ultimately, in how we got to talking about this was safety, how to make the town a safer place for everybody. Personally, I got a heavy foot, so whenever I'm driving fast. But when I drive around Lidle, I drive a little bit slower because, of course, my friends, my family, everybody's here. And Mr. Roberts, you asked if there was a study about lowering the speed and how safe it made, and I was surprised. There was a study done by the National Transportation Safety Board, and it talks about if pedestrians involved in a collision with the car, a car hits a pedestrian at 30 miles an hour, the chance of having a fatality is 45%. So, close to 50% chance that pedestrian would be killed. You lower that speed limit, it drops off. Their recommendation, from what I saw around the country, is local streets, neighborhood streets, what we're talking about, is actually lower than 25. It's 20 miles an hour. Because at 20 miles an hour, the chance of someone being killed is 5%. And seeing all this growth come into Lidle, seeing the kids walking to and from school, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't try to do everything I could in my power as an alderman of this city to make it a safer place for y'all's kids. So that's how we got to talking about this. And of course, I think there were some good examples about speed bumps going in on Benton, because it's one step. The speed limit is the least costly method that we can do. Everything else, it costs a lot more money, traffic litigation. So, as a council, we're trying to consider everything for the safety. Because we're talking about multi-pronged approach, modifying intersections so you have raised crosswalks so people know that they're going into their neighborhood. But by no means we're looking to punish anybody, making them drive slower. We're just trying to make it safer. We've had some folks come in at other meetings complaining about people speeding through the neighborhoods. And that's how it got started. And I'm always open to suggestions to make Lotto a safer place. So, I understand the concern that we'd be making it too slow for people to drive across town. But the difference in 30 and 25 miles an hour, you travel in a minute, you travel a football field longer. One football field is the distance that you travel, that difference in speed. And I know that everyone here is probably good about following the speed limit. I forget who was talking about, I think Clayton, you were talking about how people are going to speed, they're going to speed, right? We need to get more tickets. I spoke with David at length about that last meeting. And another aspect of this is having a consistency for our speed limits around town that we can control. So all these new neighborhoods that we have going in on the other side of 35, they're already going in with 25 miles an hour. From a law enforcement standpoint, the job of our police officers easier as well doing that. So again, not looking to punish anybody, looking to make it safer for y'all. Simple as that.
Come on up, sir. Come on up. And state your name real quick. Thank you.
The reason that the cheapest option is because it won't work. We don't have a reaction. Study about what happens when it's 30 miles an hour, what happens when it's 25 miles an hour. We don't have a reaction. Yes, we have that, just about every person said it. If you want to have a citywide speed limit, make it 30. Make it 30 everywhere. Raise those 25 mile per hour streets up to 30, and then you have that uniformity. And I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, I mean, if it costs less and it doesn't work, and then you have to go back and do the other stuff on top of it, go back in the, and oh, that's what it was. The other thing, I was real happy to see like that we repaved the road that goes parallel to Main Street behind most of the businesses. There, and I thought it was great. Now that it's drivable, maybe that'll take some of the pressure off of Main Street, people traveling back there. But I'm saying with all the cut crosses that we've got through town, anywhere where they can drive, where they don't have to go down Main Street, takes congestion off of Main Street, takes congestion off of where everybody's driving. But if I can go 30 miles per hour over here and I've got to go 25 over there, I'm going to go to the 30 mile per hour way every time. I think most people will understand what you're saying. The difference between, how far you're going to travel between 25 and 30 is minimal, but most people don't know that. They think they're getting somewhere faster.
Yeah, and to respond to that, it's a multi-pronged thing, right? As far as making the streets and cities safer, like speed limit, lowering the speed, that's number one. That's the least cost effective. Putting in speed bumps, costly. Elevated stuff, costly. This is one thing that we can do right now that we have the authority, because all these other things, they require traffic studies, right, which cost money, right? Engineering studies cost money, and then the actual construction. So if we want to go in there and these other things in place, we're looking at hundreds of thousands.
They work.
I mean, it's,
So, and another thing that works is our tickets, our officers that are already on the streets, that were already paying to be on the streets, giving tickets. I don't mean pulling over people for going 32. Yeah, that's a warning, okay? But, you know, the real speeders, ones that are in court, you know, over and over and over again, you see them, the same people. I mean, give them tickets.
they do, sir. And of course, you know that we're going to double in population, triple in population in the next 5, 10 years. So I mean, we're looking at means, right? Get ahead of the problem rather than, hey, 5 years we don't have any. There's been no conversation. So that's why it's important to council to have them with citizens like yourself, business owners, everybody. What all we represent y'all. So I'm glad. Thank you.
On up. Take one at a time.
Is this ordinance going to affect the lower speed limit? What would happen on the there at 20?
You're talking about on 2790 or on Prairie Street or
On
on the well in the school zone, it would remain at 20 during school hours. Or on 2790, I think it drops down to 25. But over there by you, you're on North Benton,
it's 20.
so it'd stay at 20 unless I think we'd have to go and have a traffic study done to lower it even lower than that, if need be.
If need be.
Yes, sir.
But again, that will be added to the expense.
Everything's got a cost to it, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I believe to answer your question, it would not affect the school zone, right? If it's 20 and for some reason the council decided to lower the city to 20, something like it would obviously wouldn't affect the speed limit. However, you got to remember there's other laws. That's stuff.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
My name is Walter. Several years ago, when I was a child, I was hit by a city truck on Main Street. I ran out in front of it. I'm pretty sure it was going 30 miles an hour. Actually, I could actually see the truck here. And then I was passed out on the side of the road. I suffered a chipped ankle. That was all. So I don't really believe that vehicles going 30 miles an hour are necessarily that dangerous or that deadly, because I was hardly hurt. I spent 6 weeks in a cast. It was my fault. And that's basically what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
What year is that? In the 70s. Okay, and people were driving around in 1950s. You got better tires, you got better brakes, you got better communication, you got better engines. You got cars driving slow. Something still.
Yes, sir. Simon, come on up.
Simon Garcia. My question is I just want to make sure that it's clarified. If you stop speeders, you're going to ask people that don't speed to go slower. Because you're telling me this is to address speeders, but yet it doesn't seem to affect them at all. I just wanted to get that clarified.
I mean, you're never going to be able to completely stop speeders.
Then what's the point?
It's,
Is
it's
it actually-
it's to make the city a safer place. Yeah,
But you brought up speeders. That's why I was asking. You're saying, well, this is gonna. There are a lot of people speeding, so that's why we brought that up. Yet you're not addressing speeders.
I was responding to Mr. Clayton's earlier remarks about speeders are going to speed regardless. That's why I brought up speeders. So the data, what it shows though, is that the lower speed limit makes it safer.
But you said the whole issue was brought up because you said people come and complain that there were speeders going through their roads. So why are you going after the law-abiding citizens and not the speeders?
I don't think they're coming out.
Well, the speeders are not going to, they're already not obeying the law. This is only affecting the people that go this way.
We have police department, they go through as legislators try to counsel policies for the town to be a safer place.
Well, yeah, but it's not addressing the issue at hand. How would you explain that if the problem were people speeding?
Well, David, I think David, well, the areas of town that
How many kids have been hit since this guy?
Okay, Simon, are we good?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I appreciate you bringing it up. I just want to make sure. Molly? You have?
See if there is a motion and second to consider this continued item. The public hearing was already.
Good point to be able to do that. So there's one more, if I can open up for discussion, but do we have a motion on the floor for us to go ahead and continue with the discussion? Second? Okay, any discussion?
I just want to make a statement that I understand what Alderman Kate's talking about. The council is very interested in making sure that our citizens are safe. And that's, lowering the speed limit, obviously, 15-1. At the last meeting, I stated that I think a lot of our streets can warrant faster speed. We should take the speed limit. And I really do appreciate everybody that came out and spoke here for the city and the council as well. Here.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, there were,
I totally agree with Mr. Tate as far as the safety goes. He mentioned about the subdivisions having 25 miles an hour in the subdivisions, and that's great. Most of the roads in Lytle go from point A to point B. They don't go into a subdivision and come back out the same way. They're thoroughfare roads, taking Main Street to north, to out in the country, out Wisdom Road, out somewhere. I think the thoroughfares should have a little bit higher speed, and if we're talking in the residential areas, 25, whatever, in places that are not thoroughfares, that people aren't trying to get across town in the shortest possible route, which is one of the reasons why I was kind of shocked that we went to 25 before on the main thoroughfares. And you and I have talked about this before, but as a long-term goal for the main thoroughfares should have a little bit higher speed in a strictly residential area. And I think 20 and 25 in those residential areas is right, where all the kids are on bicycles and bikes and basketballs rolling out the road. But unfortunately, we have a lot of our thoroughfares that houses also from 5 years ago.
thank you,
May
Mr.
or may not
Roberts.
be aware that the new subdivisions coming in our center. So,
Mr. Tate said there were.
Yep.
So,
All right. So, good discussion. We had the public hearing, I know, but we have motions and we have anything else for the council?
Another quick comment, not to add something. Speeding is a problem. I live right on the south side.
gun analogy, had daggone roads gonna have speeders to speed. Town speeds, but there are two bad boys in town. I mean, I see the same colored car with the same tuned exhaust blowing by my door 2 or 3 times a week, either on North Benton and certainly going past the cemetery that you were talking about before, and Laredo going out to Bismarck. So maybe when we do the budget, comes and get the bad guys on the street.
Thank you, David. Okay, so we have a motion for us to actually not do the lowering the speed limits to 25 per hour in the rest of the city of Lidle. All those in favor?
Right.
Any opposed? Nay. Okay, so please annotate that. Okay, for accountability. Okay, with that in mind, I just want to say, I want to echo what Mr. Rodriguez was saying, Mike, and I want to say thank you all for coming over and providing some information and for the council to be informed. It is very important to be able to do that. We appreciate you guys taking the time. That's how a council is supposed to work. We're supposed to listen to our citizens. We appreciate you taking the time and coming over and letting us know. There's more work to be done, and we'll continue to do some work in the different areas depending on the issues that actually come forward with council. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be able to do that. Thanks for being here. You're welcome to stay if you like. We're going to go ahead and continue on at this point. All right, let's go ahead and move on to E. Consider and act upon authorizing task order number 23-11 with TRC Engineers in the amount of $9,400 for engineering services to review the submittal of the primary plat, Phase 3 construction plans, second access road construction plans, all accompanying documents, and anticipated submittal for the final plat for Saddle Ridge Phase 3. Matt?
I'll stand by.
Okay, yeah, we'll just wait a little bit.
So council, before you tonight is a task order from TRC in the amount of $9,400, and that is to review the Phase 3 submittal for Saddle Ridge along with the secondary access road construction plan. The only caveat, this is normal practice, I've been done with every other country. The only caveat I'm going to add to this is this, a small portion of this in the back is in that area that has not been annexed into the city yet. But the developer has stalled that until they're thinking before. So I had hesitation on this, to be honest with you, but the engineer said no, they're going to approve it. They're just other backings, reasons why they're pushing it till 24. They don't anticipate starting this construction anyways. So I told him the only good thing is if we approve this tonight, we can start our construction on it. But if they get it done before before they finish the annexation, there's going to be a caveat on it that says now send it to Atascosa County to have it reviewed by then, and it's going to slow them down. They all know this, and we're trying to, kind of like with some other projects, we're trying to merge the two timelines at the exact same time. Everybody, our engineer and their engineer, that's what's the reason but I want to be clear on the fact that it doesn't. No, we have not approved the application for annexation. We have the service plan and everything done. It should have already been before you, but the development is correct. So January. I've worked on it, it's completed. We've had a couple of comments, but it's done.
So this is just us the engineers to go ahead and do it.
Work on it. We pay upfront as they submit to us, their bill for working on this. It's a cost not to exceed $9,400 right now. And then we recover that $9,400 at the end of the process when they come in. It allows our engineers to get the ball rolling, so that way all the timelines kind of merge at the same time. Okay, we're not stalling.
Yes, sir.
I move that we authorize task order number 23-11 with TRC Engineers in an amount not to exceed $9,400 for engineering services to review the submittal of the preliminary plat, Phase 3 construction plan, secondary access road construction plans, all accompanying documents, and the anticipated submittal for the final plat for Saddle Ridge Phase 3.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to F. Consider an act upon setting allocation of the city's 13 votes for Medina County Appraisal District Board of Directors. And I'll turn it over to Matt. If you remember, council, you asked both myself and Matt to look into this, so we did, and we came up with a solution. So, Matt.
So, say we, but Mayor majority.
Us.
So he made some phone calls, and we discovered that Cindy Segovia is the only person in that list of candidates that resides in our area. When I say in our area, it's not necessarily in the city, but it's within a lot of the town. So she's really the only one that has a title Lytle and has a voice for Lytle. So in following like we do with the with Atascosa County, how we share it with the school district, this is who the school is voting for. So we felt it would be only right to pass off our vote for Cindy Segovia. She's really the only person that has a tie to Lytle. And it would kind of in line up with how we do that. She currently is.
She's currently. Yeah, there's 4 people out of that list that was provided that actually are on the board right now. 4 that are brand new.
We call it the appraisal district. There are no bios, nothing.
I'd like to make a motion. I move that we allocate all 13 of our votes for Cindy Segovia to serve on the board of directors for the Medina County Appraisal District 2024 and 2025.
Okay. Motion has. We have a motion on the floor. Let's go ahead and have a second. Cindy Segovia. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, G, consider an act upon the adoption of city ordinance 2314, amending ordinance number 89, clarifying using the current TABC rule of measurement.
So council, recently, this came up. We had somebody applying for a TABC license. They were within an area that we had to measure. And if you read our ordinance from 1983, and how it talks about measuring, it's more, we'll say it's as opposed to last. It would, if I could, you know, so they brought people. And when I started looking at that, I saw the difference. Worked with Jesse on updating, and that's basically what we did. We were mirroring how TABC rule measurement correlates. So that way, they're not judged over here and then judged differently with us. We kind of judge at the same level. And then he cleaned up, he told me, just some of the language in our ordinance mirror TABC.
Pretty straightforward, council.
City ordinance, clarify.
Got a motion on the floor? Second. Okay. All, any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion carries forward. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's 7:52 now. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break right now. And we will come back and finish up with our reports and the informational items. right.
Close enough.
Let's go ahead and continue on. Lynette, if you can actually show us at 8:06 coming back from break, that would be great. Council, we're going to go ahead and move on into our department reports. And the first one that we have is Lynette with our finance director's report. Go ahead, Lynette.
All right. Month of October. Utility bills for the month came in at $144,729. Water was $76,518. Sewer accounts at $37,014. And gas accounts at $31,197. I did something a little different. I increased from what we had last year. Last month, so you can kind of see the differences. Like we increased 4 to 1. We're going to see a big increase here in the next month. Tapping fees, water impact was $19,694. Water tapping fees of $9,000. Acquisition of $16,200. No gas tapping fees, no new gas services. Sewer impact fees of $26,569 and sewer tapping fees of $6,000. The big numbers you see there are the LGI homes. Donations. Animal control got $112,000 in. $112, not $12.
Santi did working it. He did good.
Sorry. $112.50. Library got $170.25. Total donations to the city of $172.75. The fire department had 325 different donations. Another 190. Of course, that's redistributed back. City sales tax, we're in a new year, that's why that's so short. It came out at $123,321.3. We're finally seeing a little bit of the change from Cindy here at Stripes. Hotel tax, $9,335.75. That was a little lower. We've been seeing about $10,000. I'm not really sure of the change on that, but it did lower about $1,000. Franchise tax, we've got partials coming in, but of course you're not going to see the big one come in until the end of the quarter. Court fines for the month, we have went down again to 1 court date a month. So the girls are doing amazing over there, and we are actually pretty caught up. So we're going down to 1 court date a month. So for October, it came in at $32,507. And the warrant collection fees, which we use Purdue in town, we're able to come in at $1,000. Internal court updates. The new girl, Brianna, has been with us for about 3 weeks now. She's doing amazing. She came from Judge Vaughn's court, and so she is taking on very well. Our prosecutor is very happy with her as well. He had talked to me on last Thursday, so I think he did a very good addition. The new online court payment system, we're still kind of set back with that. Matt is we're working on that to see what we're going to do from here. Maybe we'll have an update here shortly. Ashley and Brianna, Judge Elise has been coming in at least 2 or 3 times a week now, and they are trying to get rid of all the old files that we really can't use. If the paperwork's not right, or utility billing went relatively smoothly. We have credit card. We had some issues with posting, and I was working with Bryce and Frontera around 2 weeks ago. We spent all day working on this. Whatever Bryce and I finally did, I have not had one credit card issue since we fixed it. Liza's now fully trained on the radio reads. She did it all by herself with absolutely no help from me. And one radio read that did not read correctly and probably internal. We're still in the middle of the audit, but it's kind of an ongoing process. Yearly Texas workforce audit is completed. I'm just waiting on their final numbers. TML workforce comp is completed. Their feedback. The BGSS workshop workshops. They're in the evening. They're usually from like 5 to 7. We're having them in town or different areas in Alamo, what we call the Alamo. Credit card and data reconciliation are still taking a little bit of my time because I'm having to go back and fix the issues that I had before, but I'm hoping from now that they have got the errors.
Figured out.
That's all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Review, utility bills.
Right.
See your bill and.
Right. So right now we have a little bit of a hiccup going on with our server. So that's also part of it because we need to be able to capture that. And from what I understood talking to Bryce, we're kind of at a standstill. And I could probably elaborate just a little bit more on that.
But there's no new,
So-
there's no.
No, I
No
have
update
not.
on moving forward with any new software until we figure out our server issue. We've always had one server. It's really old, and it was at its capacity. It was used not only to run all of our software, but all of our logins at the same time as well. We were debating to find a new server or go cloud-based. We think go cloud-based was super expensive. We eventually went back and said, hey, just get us a new server. And I was going to keep the old one. Well, I take that back. I was going to buy a new server altogether and just say that's going to run everything. We ran everything off one server before, and let's just buy a bigger, more robust one. So we did. Then I found out we didn't put Tyler, but it was to run Tyler. There was for our IT company to give me back some data on what it's going to cost to upgrade the current server we have so it can run Tyler and get it approved. That is that will run. This one runs Tyler. This one runs all from upper domain, which is the way it should. We've never done that. But servers are cheap, so that's why we find we get the next year's budget. We didn't budget.
Okay.
Stuff online. I will. The only thing I'm going to touch on about the water acquisition fee. You saw it was up. There's a lot of new homes coming in. Keep in mind, starting January 1 of 24, that goes away. Developers, because we no longer have the excess capacity and water rights. We're at the 11 just got awarded to us. I got the paperwork today, but we're still right on the edge of that. So starting January 1st of 2024, the developer has to bring us water. That's what our code already says, but it also says that if we have excess, they can pay a fee in lieu of. Well, we've got a bunch of money sitting there, but I can't find water rights for sale. We found 11 acre feet, and that was it, at least at a reasonable price. So now the developer, the ball's in their court. You want to build here, you got to go back to this and bring your water rights. January, they've all been told, they've all been given letters, they're all aware. I'll work with our new city administrator. I think the best way to capture it is whenever they come in and start that phase. So like phase 3 that we're starting to review now, when they're ready and they get as part of the review process, you're ready to start construction. Okay, you give that, and you have to give the city X number of acre feet of water for that development. How they recover that is on them. Just like we would, they got to go find it. Some of the developers actually own water rights. When they purchased the land out there, they purchased it with water rights. They always said, well, when we're ready to sell them, we'll sell them to the city. Well, unfortunately, we need them now. That's on them.
So before we actually go into yours, Matt, since we have it on the agenda, the city secretary's report on there, every one of you got it electronically. It's in there. Is there any concerns or any questions about it? Oh, you were going to do it? I'm just following the agenda.
Yeah,
I mean,
if y'all got
it's,
questions, we can reach out to her. Paula's
Yeah.
not here. She's got some other stuff going on. That's
we can move forward with, but it was, so.
She's doing, from what I gather, everything's good. It's really good, and that's she's where she needs to be right now.
Yeah.
To help her down there.
We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay.
Okay, I'll go through mine real quick here. Oh. we go. Red is what changed in here. So the sidewalk project, this is the one that Alderman Kate started a while back. It has already been bid and from what I gather, should have been awarded to that construction company at 1.2. So it actually came in under budget as well. So as long as there's no overages on that, we could potentially get some of our 383 back from the state, hopefully. Same with the sidewalks paving been completed, that came in under budget. So when all said and done, we may actually have a little more CO money that we can apply to streets and sidewalks. I don't know how much just yet. The 12-inch water main loop, we're about 30% completion. I walked it or went to it with Scott with TRC. Overall concept is we would come down Railroad Street. We're going to do some valve and behind over there. Come down Railroad Street. I'll be honest with you, there were some initial talks about that giant oak tree along Railroad Street on how we get around it, cut it out, whatever. He's clarifying with the arborist, but we believe we're going to be able to bore under it. So that's about the only way we're going to be able to save that giant oak tree. We'll come up, we'll bore under to get to McDonald Street. Potentially, we're going to have to close McDonald Street during construction on that side. It's just residents on it. So you won't be able to cut from there to Main Street. You'll have to go maybe do the post office or cut down the road. Too big of machines and too big of a hole and bore pits to get across. We'll run down McDonald Street on the opposite side of us, down to around the O'Reilly's property. Then from there, we'll cut back across the our side of the road here and then run down to 35, do all that. We're going to have some boards, valves, all that good stuff. But that's where we're looking at right now. That's the best place to put it to miss a lot of the stuff there. We believe we can keep it all in the current text, not product plan. That's what we're trying to do. The only other option is to go out and try to get property from people or eminent domain. Okay. Saddle Ridge, the phase 6, they got 51 homes. They haven't moved a whole lot in there. It's kind of slowed down over there for them. Phase 3 is what we just approved tonight. That's 75 new homes over there. We're working on the service plan. It's already done. We hope January 24 to get that finalized, get it adopted in. A lot of farms and new kids been established. We're still working on some final numbers for them. But they hope the first quarter of 24. Adams Street drainage. That's been open for a while. When we repaved over there, we kind of adjusted the angle of the road a little bit. And I can tell you, I've driven it during some pretty significant hard rains, and I didn't see the water going across through the people's driveway and through the backyard, which is what we were trying to solve over there. So I'm hoping, cross our fingers, that we solve that problem with just a little more angle in that road. City Yard Maintenance is currently open for bid. It closes on the 30th at 4 p.m. and we'll award it on the 11th. And go from there. Bunch of meetings. We didn't have anything in code compliance. Danny's been out. The new guy starts next. I brought him in the week, but he was supposed to start on the 11th when the new city administrator Zach started. That's going to be too hard for me to try it, so I'm bringing him in a week earlier, so the week before. So it should be next Monday. I'll ride around with him some and join some stuff there. The only thing that's been done in the park, I've talked to Wayne over there on how to more control and just doing stuff before having to be told to go do it. Got a list to start working on it, but he did get the Matias Calacian Park and benches redone. So if you've been over there, they've got the new woods and everything on all the benches.
Matt, on that one, have we heard anything on that park? Have we heard anything from AEP on replacing that light out there in the park?
I have not. I will send an email again in the morning. Shoot me a text at the end, so I don't forget it or anything.
Okay.
I'll shoot an email.
I'll reach out.
Public Works Division, we currently have one open position. We had a new hire start on the 20th, and so far, I guess he's doing pretty good, right? We've got a potential applicant we may do a initial job offer to this week, hopefully. Code compliance, he starts on December the 5th, and the new city administrator on the 11th. A lot of new faces here.
Add to the team. Council?
Robbie, any updates on well two?
Well, hopefully I find something out next week or the following week. That'll be within the time limit that they said.
We're still waiting for the results to come back, and we're still flushing, correct?
Yes.
Where's Kimley Horn at on the drainage utility?
We're getting close. I'd have to go back and get with them specifically on the dates, but I know they're to the point where we're trying to put all the pieces together to come in and make a presentation on cost, what the charge, and like potentials out there. We're getting really close. I'll get an update tomorrow on trying to get like a percentage. Okay, that's, okay. But that's been a little bit stuff talk.
Anything else, council? Okay. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the update. Okay, council, let's go ahead and move on to number 9, informational items. So I'll go ahead and start right over here on this side.
Yeah, Mayor, I just want to reach out and show the council's gratitude to the Annual Citizenship Award Committee. Next meeting, December the 11th, those awards will be presented here at council.
Awesome. Appreciate all the hard work, and we'll talk a little bit more next meeting. Charles? Okay. Annette? Back over there. Sandra, Santi, David, Robbie, Molly. Good? Okay. A few things to go ahead and cover. First of all, I just want to go ahead and say thanks to AP Energy for getting us a light that is installed in the intersection going to Coal Mine. Been waiting for that, so that has been taken care of. That's a big win. I want to say personally thank Jimmy from AP and the team, his team, of getting this done. It took a little bit of time, right, Matt? Got it done, and it's made a difference on that area. Thanks to all the area churches in the school district for hosting a community-wide Thanksgiving meal, 300 plus folks. It was the second time they've done that, and there was a huge turnout and everybody together. So it was really nice. The culinary department, Chef Stewart, the school, Julianne Lingo. I mean, they just went all out and they did a great. And I can go down the list of all the folks. That turned out really good. Got a lot of feedback on that one. Just thanking everybody for doing that. I want to thank the local VFW for hosting the Thanksgiving meal for all the veterans and the families in this area. Got a lot of feedback on that one. Huge success. You know, we do have some veterans around here that pretty much are by themselves. And I know he's not in the right? And I tell you, I got texts, I got phone calls just telling us how they felt like they were part of a family. So kudos to the VFW for doing that event. That's awesome. Thanks to TxDOT on the turning lane project. If you pulled up and you noticed it today, they've already striped. There's still a little bit of work to do. They're still working on that, but got it done. The big thing with this one is they came in, and even though it was an inconvenience, they did it during the time that our school was out during Thanksgiving. So it kind of minimized the impact on that. So I wanted to go ahead and say thanks for getting it done and make it a little bit easier. And a special thanks of them because we did bring it up to them, especially right in front of the city hall, is for us to be able to put our Christmas tree together. And they came through. So I want to say thanks to Paula and Lynette for the purchase of their Christmas tree and for Public Works and Matt getting it all set up. Already seen folks taking photos in front of it. Lots of positive feedback. A lot of people are already highlighting, and I know they still haven't seen. We got 2 other locations that we're going to put new stuff out, right, Matt? So I already gotten some feedback, and that was the main thing. If you remember, council, we said we wanted to do something that people would take pictures on, and it's already turning out to be that way. Already. So it's awesome, and it's awesome. So that has worked out really good. I want to say thanks to Lido State Bank for helping us out with the Christmas decorating contest. I wanted to let the council know in the past, somehow, some way, there was a decorating contest and money was spent to be able to do that. We worked really hard and asked Lido State Bank to partner with us to do that. So they're the ones that are sponsoring that contest. So we're going to have a business and / organization category, and then we're going to have residents. Top first place is going to be $250 for second, and then $100 for third place. There's more details that are going to go out. I'm waiting for a flyer and a few other stuff for them, but they're going to take the lead. And we went to them. Their employees are excited to actually do the judging. So we won't need to worry about any of that. They're going to take care of all the stuff that needs to be done. We're just going to help them out since it's going to be the first time. So great partnership. Just want to say thanks to Lido State Bank. Update on Rise Broadband. We're 90% complete. Robbie's like, I know any more breaks, but I know they're almost there. So the game plan is 132 south. Okay, 132 is going to be the first phase of folks that are going to get the fiber. They already laid it. They're still doing the small connections. People will be able to order it, and then they'll run it into the house. But they're looking at by the end of December to do that. The rest of Lytle, they're looking at the end of January. So there's still some other areas that they still need to work on to try to do that. So by the end of January, we should have full fiber in the sense of if the residents that want to buy it and get it installed, they'll be available on that, be able to do that. Frontage Road TxDOT project continues into December. They're not completely done. They still need some work to be done out there. We might have some lane detours where there are no more closures, but they still need some work, especially under I-35 and 27. They gotta fix some barriers, and there's a few other areas that they need to clean up. So it's still going on. Had a meeting with TxDOT. Matt and I, along with we actually hosted a meeting here. We brought them together with some of the other mayors. We got a call from Medina County, and it worked out really good. Interesting things that we got a chance to know. First of all, we found out that the crash rates along I-35, on I-35 between Divine and us, are higher than the statewide average. Right, Matt? And we also found out that the crashes on 132 between Divine and Lytle are higher than the statewide average. So what does that mean? That means that they're going to be paying very close attention. They have a study that they're going on. They already told us that the plan is in the future for I-35 to actually go to 3 lanes. We're going to have 3 lanes on there. We had a chance to talk about ramps. Some of the comments that our citizens were bringing up, we had a chance to provide that feedback to them as part of their study. So they'll come back at a later point. Right now, it was just initial discussion and just being able to take care of that. The one good thing that also came out of this is Medina County is joining the AAMPO, which is basically a metropolitan area. And that means that we will be in a different pot of money to be able to get some of our projects funded. So that means that we'll have a greater probability of getting money to be able to take care of our area for any kind of TxDOT projects, which is great. No, the whole corridor. The whole corridor. So it's going to be pretty neat, the whole thing that's going to tie in. So we mentioned that Atascosa is also supposed to be part of this, getting invited. But Medina County was the lead that took it on and said, hey, let's go ahead and push this forward. So it's going to work out. And there's a very good relationship between the Medina County judge and Atascosa to work with some of this. So it's going to be good for us. And of course, Bear County is already in it. So it's going to help us out. So a lot of good discussions on that. We'll still be working on some water projects. I was just talking to Robbie. We're still on for this Thursday, the 30th of November on 2790. So from the new subdivision, Rosewood, all the way out to Lucky Road. Is that correct, Robbie? For those of you that have friends, relatives, or that's your district, please make sure. We're going to go ahead and pass a word, but we're going to be between 9 and 1 o'clock. We're going to bring down the water so they can connect the T that goes into the new subdivision. So be planning on that. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but that's going to happen. Also want to let you know that our scheduled project where we were going to lower our water pressure so we could work right in front of St. Andrews here at another project, we're looking on the 17th of December. That's a Sunday right after school lets out. So we're basically just simulating the same thing. We're going to work it. The other one did not happen. It's just mostly just because we didn't get the locates, and we had a guy out, and based on that, you got to have the 3-man crew on each side. So that's how we managed it. So it was a perfect thing for us to go ahead and do, and that's the reason. But it's going to happen now on Sunday, night of Sunday, the 17th of December. We'll let the residents know. We'll let the businesses know on there. Reminder, this Friday for our city employees, council, and their families, we got the Christmas dinner. This is this Friday starting at 6 p.m. Is that correct? So please make sure, perfect opportunity for us to all break bread together, get together. I think the ladies were planning some games, a few other things that they want to do. So they're handling all that stuff, but that's this Friday. Okay, good opportunity, and we're having it all catered, so everybody will be able to enjoy, take a little break, be able to come together. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have Santa Claus there, right? So we'll have an opportunity to bring your families if they want to take pictures with Santa and do all that. We'll have the opportunity. And White Elephant gift, I think they were sending that out. That's correct. Be able to do that. Okay, Hayride event on the 9th of December, starting at 6 p.m. Matt, we're good with the trailers. We're
I've got everything lined up.
So, got trailers, got PD ready to go. I know Public Works is helping us out. We got all the hay that we're going to need to be able to stock the trailers. All that is taken care of. Please encourage folks, especially along the route, that it's citywide, decorate their homes, not only for our folks that are going to be on the hayride, but also for the contest. Already got some businesses that are really going to go all out on Main Street, which is going to be pretty good. We're going to have different parts, and we're going to have a little bit of entertainment to include our high school band. It's going to be in front of City Hall to provide entertainment that night. So it's going to be great. It's going to work out really good. If you miss Robert Rules of Training, we do have the video.
Yes.
So make sure that we actually take care of that. Alderman Kate, just a reminder, don't forget to take care of your financial disclosure forms. Make sure that we get those in. I do want to go ahead and remind folks that we have some birthdays that are coming in. And we got Liza on the 11th of December to go ahead and take care of. And we got Wayne the 12th of December to go ahead and do that. But before that, we actually have one. It's here in the next few days.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charles. Happy birthday to you.
Richie's not here. Oh, you eat it. As soon as you lose. So there you
Just
go.
leave the wrapper on this.
Oh, yeah. Be able to do that. He blocked it. Just be able to take care of that. All right. Anything else? Last minute? If we don't, it's 8:34. Can I get a motion for us to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Have a motion on the floor. Do I second? Got a second? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Charles, you good? Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a great evening. Thank you. Good meeting overall.